We hear it all the time, right? The numbers speak for themselves. Well, honestly, they really don't. A raw data set is just a quiet, messy collection of facts. Data doesn't actually tell a story by itself. People do. So welcome to this explainer on data storytelling, where we're going to break down exactly how to turn your raw analysis into true, actionable meaning. Right off the bat, we need to completely bust this common misconception that data automatically tells its own story. It just doesn't. A raw data set might have hundreds of different patterns or anomalies or complex relationships hidden inside of it. Your job as a professional isn't to somehow make the data dramatic. It's to create clarity. You have to figure out which of those findings actually matter and then guide people to them. We've got a really practical roadmap for this explainer, taking us from the core framework of storytelling all the way through adapting your final message to whoever happens to be watching. So, let's dive right into that first part, the core framework. Data storytelling is absolutely not just about making a chart look pretty. It is a highly intentional process. It's literally the sequence of selecting meaningful findings, establishing context, framing your insights, explaining the implications, and then designing the whole visualization specifically around the needs of an audience. It's a journey from numbers to a message. A genuinely useful data story relies on three very specific steps working together. Step 1 is context. What exactly are we examining here? Step 2 is insight. What does the data actually reveal? And step 3, which is often forgotten, is implication. Why does this finding matter right now? Without all three of these elements, you don't have a narrative. You literally just have a chart. Let's look at how we actually put this into practice and frame an insight. Okay, imagine you see this result. Customer retention increased from 72% to 81%. That's a great result for sure. But standing completely on its own, it's entirely unframed. We don't know what caused it, we don't know if it was expected, and we definitely don't know what we should do about it. Now let's inject some context. What if I told you that after the company redesigned its onboarding process, customer retention increased to 81%? Boom. Suddenly, the audience understands exactly what changed to cause that jump. We've anchored that raw number to a real-world business event. But we aren't finished yet. Finally, we add the implication. If this improvement continues, the company could retain hundreds of additional customers each year. Now your audience knows exactly why this finding deserves executive action. This three-part sequence, context, insight, implication, is the fundamental difference between just tossing a data point at someone and effectively framing an insight so it actually means something. Moving on, we need to talk about visualization because there is a massive shift that has to happen when you present your findings. There's this huge division of purpose in data design that trips people up all the time. Exploratory visualization is for you, the analyst. It's what you use to investigate the data, test ideas, identify patterns, and frankly, discover questions you didn't even know you should be asking. But explanatory visualization, that is for everyone else. Its only job is to communicate a specific finding and deliberately direct your audience's attention right toward the evidence that supports it. One of the fastest, absolute best ways to shift from explore mode to explain mode is by changing your titles. If you use a generic descriptive title like enrollment by year, you're making the viewer do all the analytical work. Actually, let's fix that. Use an insight-driven headline. Something like enrollment has declined for 3 consecutive years. See the difference? That immediately communicates your key takeaway before the viewer even processes the visual. Think of it this way. Every single visual element must perform a job. If your exploratory analysis resulted in this giant Frankenstein chart of 10 years and 15 categories, you need to simplify it down to just the 2 categories and 3 years that actually matter to your point. Use those insight-driven headlines we just talked about. Add context annotations directly onto the chart. Throw in reference lines to show targets, and visually highlight the exact point where a trend changes. Don't make them guess. Okay, for our final piece of the puzzle, let's talk about the people actually looking at your data. There's this incredibly common misconception out there that because data is objective, it should be presented identically to every single audience. No way. While the underlying truth of your data obviously stays exactly the same, your communication strategy has to radically adapt depending on whoever's on the receiving end. To put that into perspective, if you're presenting to executives, they need the implication and the decision highlighted immediately. They literally just want the bottom line before their next meeting starts. But if you're presenting to fellow analysts, they're going to want to see your methodology to validate your work.
And for students or the general public, you absolutely must strip away the technical complexity and clearly define your terminology. The data doesn't change, but what you emphasize shifts entirely.
So, before you finalize any explanatory visualization, you have to ask yourself 3 pretty ruthless questions. First, who exactly is the audience? Second, what do they specifically need to understand? And third, what should they know, decide, or do immediately after seeing this? Answering these ensures you're actually serving the viewer, not just dumping data on them.
So let's bring it all together. Explore broadly when you are analyzing. Get messy, dive into the complexity, and find those patterns. But when it is time to explain, you must focus intentionally. Provide the context, surface the insight, clarify the implication, and always design around your audience. Ultimately, the data itself is never the final destination. A truly strong data story doesn't just show what happened, it proves why it matters. So the next time you open a presentation deck, I want you to ask yourself, are you just making your audience stare at a spreadsheet on a screen, or are you actually telling a story that drives action?